Give me those S&W boobies.
I'm sorry. I feel so dirty.
Hey, Stargazers.
There we go. All right. Greetings, fellow Stargazers.
Wars are in the stars. The Bubba Mask.
Welcome back
Hey.
to another episode of the Night Blog.
Hey.
Day 2 of our end of the decade.
Ooh.
This is just the end of the year. This is the end of the decade.
It's been 10 years since I've last seen you.
I have a pipe.
I don't.
I want one.
Can I borrow?
I have a corncob pipe.
What could we do on stream that is like
Are we allowed to smoke on stream? Is that
Oh,
okay?
no, with that I think that we probably get flagged or something.
Would you?
I don't know.
Even
We just have to
if
check
it's
not intended for kids when we upload now,
And just,
you know.
what if bubbles just come out of it? I don't want to do that to my pipe. They're actually nice wooden pipes.
Well, my kids
I
started
haven't
watching
smoked
like
it in years, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Actually, there's this guy in our office that said like he used to be really into pipe smoke and stuff, and he has like the Shire weed, I think is what it's called. Like, you know, where that Gandalf shoves in there when
Yeah.
time to smoke. Yeah. So he has that. Brandy Buck. Okay. So what are we talking about? What did we just talk about yesterday?
Our six, our favorite video games of the decade. So today, we're going to talk about our favorite TV shows of the decade. The
Wow.
decade, the 2010s. Now, we had a little bit of criteria.
Has it
for
been
here.
10 years?
It has.
10 years.
It has. I graduated college 10 years ago.
Oh, I was still in college. No, almost done.
Almost done.
Almost
in,
done.
In a week.
And
you could say
a
you
week, you
graduated.
say. Sure.
Yes, indeed.
So
Just
let's
go into incoherent mumble.
Let's make sure that the shows that we say definitely get us thought of as boomers, even though we're not.
That's
so
not
let's make
gonna
sure that our
happen.
references are just so bad
So-
and old.
I work at a TV station now, and we were talking one day about how a lot of our shows, like from network, not our personal shows, but shows
Okay.
from network, they're geared towards old
Boomers.
people. They're geared towards boomers. And as this guy's listening to shows, I look at him, I go, you just listed all the shows that my father-in-law's favorite shows.
Yeah.
Like, non-ironically.
Yeah, no.
Those are his favorite shows. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that does make me scared about the future of my job here.
Y'all are just staying there. I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
But
it's all good.
you're good. You're good at understanding that psyche.
Yeah.
You're there. You can get there. You can get the boomer curmudgeon style. I know it.
I am a boomer curmudgeon as a millennial. Anyway, so our favorite shows.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
I-
What you just said. I am a boomer curmudgeon as a millennial.
As a millennial.
Okay.
But so the criteria was, it didn't have to premiere in the 2010s, but the bulk of the show had to come out in the 2010s.
Correct.
But Simpsons is not count,
Right.
and
Arrested Development.
Arrested
things
Development.
like that.
I wouldn't count Arrested Development, even though I had a revival.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count Gilmore Girls, even though they had a 1-season revival.
Right.
Saturday Night
I
Live.
tried to cheat in Smallville because it ended in 2011. No, doesn't fly.
So
So
we could do a 2000s retrospective.
eventually we will.
Eventually.
Okay.
And you
So
can put it in.
you started video games. I'm gonna start TV shows.
Okay.
Because I think one that I have. I think this is gonna be on both of ours. I didn't
Yeah.
look at yours. You didn't look at mine. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm almost positive it's on yours. But
Okay.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. I mean, where in that show? I've rewatched it now multiple times. Where could you say it's bad television?
The Fly episode is the only episode I could say is like, no, hear me out. I like that episode.
Mm-hmm.
I like the episode. It's a great character building episode.
Yes.
But anybody who has criticisms of it, I get it.
Okay, sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
So that's the only
I'll
time.
follow
And I
mine
wouldn't
with
even
that.
say it's bad television. It's like,
No. But you understand the criticism of it.
I understand the
I get
criticisms
that.
of it, and I
Okay.
can somewhat agree, though I still find it to be enjoyable, and it does move at least character relationships forward, if
Big
not
time.
the overarching plot forward.
Yeah, and it's everything with Vince Gill. It's metaphorical. I mean, everything that he does is symbolic. And so like that whole, like you said, it's character building that actually feeds into things later.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Jesse references it even in like El Camino and stuff like that. Like they talk about it again. Like I know it's kind of a throwaway episode in the grand scheme of plot, but it's very, especially rewatching it when you watch it again. Like it just knowing what's gonna happen. It's a good episode.
Now, what's interesting about that series, I've watched a lot of like behind the scenes of the writers' room, and there's so
Okay.
many times the writers wrote themselves into corners, and like we have no idea how to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like one is when the Winnebago is impounded,
Right.
and Hank is at the door.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
They literally we're actually stuck.
I love what they figured out for that. Too.
Yeah,
it was genius.
Like
was
they've had to put themselves in Walter's like, how would you believably get out of this? So anyway, that's on mine.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Definitely.
Bad. It's amazing.
Boom, boom, boom. So
it's
good.
Wonderful.
I mean, it's funny
so
because
good.
like coming into that, Bryan Cranston was only Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
and to see him in that role
we
was
see
just
him like the goofy dad from Malcolm in the Middle, and also what else has he done before Malcolm in the Middle? Voices in Power Rangers
right,
shows.
Yeah,
Like
Lord Zed.
Was he Lord Zed?
Wasn't he?
I thought he was just other random.
Oh,
I thought he
was
only
he?
had a couple different voiceover.
Oh no,
cameos.
Lord Zed was some old dude.
Yeah, it was. He was like the voice of some of the monsters.
Some old dude. I'm
a
sorry.
couple of the monsters.
Lord Zed is great. I didn't mean to like devalue the guy that did Lord Zed. That was the first name that popped in my head.
He was an old dude, I guess. I don't know, I can't remember who it was.
Bryan Cranston is amazing, and that show is great. Aaron Paul's amazing. El Camino's really good too. What was another one for
Bob's
you?
Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers. I don't know how it's still going. I haven't watched any of the season yet, just because, well, the summer and fall have been a tumultuous time for our lives personally, but it is. I don't know how that show still has its charm.
It's so good.
It is full of charm. How did you have a show about a guy running a failing business? Mm-hmm. Not a failing, but just a struggling business, which when you look at the passion he goes into his product, I'm like, that should be a successful hole-in-the-wall place. Like, I would go there almost daily if I worked in that area. Yeah.
Well, we went to like Bob's Burgers live, and they talked. Someone was like, they do Q&A. Someone comes up and they're like, "How are you still in business?" And they had a great answer for it in the writers' room. They're like, "We like to show that because Bob is so good at making burgers, that he will always stay afloat, but he will never be successful because his family runs the business with him." Like it's one of those things that's like he will, he puts so much.
So his family gets in the way.
They do, but at the same time, he doesn't want it any other way. Bob would never change it.
But no, that's an interesting thought. That's how they craft the show. Is that if it wasn't for his family, he'd be a huge success.
Right.
But he values his family. There's a charm.
Yeah, it's so.
I
it's
wish I
precious.
was there. That's awesome.
But then they did like a read through, and you realize that the charm is in like how good the story is and how much they care and everything. But it's also the voice actors. Oh, because
they got the greatest actors.
The greatest.
My wife loves H. John Benjamin.
Oh, he's so hilarious.
Because when he does those Arby's commercials now, and she sees him, she goes, "Is that like that's Bob?"
That's Bob.
I love him.
Yeah.
Like, she just looks at him and just thinks he's the most wonderful person in the world.
Yeah. Well, ever since he was coach on Home Movies, like, I've been in love with that man.
I keep telling him, I gotta show you Home Movies.
Yeah.
I gotta show you Home Movies.
It's so
It'll
good.
be a different view of H. John Benjamin and Bob than you'll probably appreciate, but it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. All right, so another one for me. Hannibal. Did you watch Hannibal?
I did not watch Hannibal.
Okay. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen is
he's
amazing.
Great.
He's so good. But as Hannibal, dude, I mean, that show, I know, like, going into it, you know Hannible, you know what it is, you know Silence of the Lambs and everything. But, like, watching it where they do this good, this, like, Dexter-style thing where they get you kind of on board with him. They give you this weird, like, sense of, I like you. I know I shouldn't. I know what you are, and I know that, like, I want you to get caught and everything, but you're kind of like, you're really charming.
Yeah.
And when you make human meat, it looks delicious. Like, but at first it started off with that whole, like, he was actually helping, like, them catch certain killers and everything. Hugh Dancy is who plays, the main character. Then you had, like, Lawrence Fishburne and stuff like that. Great,
Lawrence Fishburne's in
great cast, yeah.
I gotta see
but
this
then
show now.
Mads Mikkelsen, being Hannibal and everything, but nobody's catching on to him, and he's doing this great thing where he's leading them to places he wants them to go, and then sometimes actually getting the kill himself so he can eat the people and stuff like that. But he's a liaison to the police and everything. And he's not, like, that type of creepy and everything, but he is creepy in, like, a much more, wow, this guy is really charming kind of way. Like, I like him, but he's terrifying and brilliant. And that show is crafted so well. And I know it, like, came off the heels of things like Pushing Daisies and stuff, where he's made more, like, fantastical worlds in the past, but this one is very dark, very well done. Imagery is phenomenal. Pacing is perfect, and the cast is so good. The fact that it ended when it did is a bummer, but he got to end it well.
Okay, good.
And to where they said they might come back, like, 5-10 years down the road, real time will have passed and they might come back to it. So
interesting.
I'm hoping against hope. All right, what's another one?
Community.
So
Community.
good.
Its ability to do parody, but remain and spoof even.
Yeah.
But remain true to the characters and who they are.
Yeah.
But also then call out that they know what they're doing.
Oh, big time.
With the character of Abed.
Yeah, self-referential all the time.
Yeah,
but
it's just
tactfully.
It's this weird show where it's so far up its own ass, but at the same time, it knows it, so it's okay.
Right, yeah.
Until it's not. But, man, when that show's good, that show's good. And one of the things that cemented that show for me is the Law & Order parody episode. Because they did the opening intro in the style of Law & Order. Mm-hmm. And instead of just taking the Law & Order theme and putting it over their intro, like with Law & Order visuals, they took their theme
and redid
their theme song and did it in the style of the Law & Order theme song. And
did the visuals.
Or like, I remember like Family Guy just did a random one and they just used the Law & Order theme.
Yeah, right.
That's lazy. And this is like, there is craft, and there is care, and there is love.
Yeah.
And they're doing this, and they're running around playing detective and lawyer and whatnot, and everybody else is around them like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like when they're in the interview section, and they're interviewing Starburns, and there's just the empty fish tank, and Yvette Nicole Brown is talking to Donald Glover and guy who plays Abed,
Daniel
Pudi, and Starbird's like, I can see you, I can hear you, like it's constantly breaking the parody part,
right?
But you're still like, it's silly and it's fun,
right? Well, I love even the episodes where Abed does like documentary. Like, they're all aware that it's like a documentary.
Yeah.
Other people, Jeff will come in and be like, stop doing your stupid documentary talk. Like, nobody cares.
I'm not your dad. And then later on, they use it in a way it's like,
it actually works, you know. But that show, I mean, it totally belongs on your list. It belongs on my list. I have different...
And the pillow fight
so
documentary, Ken Burns episode, where it's like reading... You have the voiceover actors of texts and tweets, and it's just... They just got it.
It's just, and even then, something to say about like how much they cared about that show when it went through the bad season that they just talked about it being the year of the gas leak, which I love that they even like took down their own season. But then it comes back without some of their main cast because first Chevy had to go because of his racist tirade, and then Childish Gambino went to be Childish Gambino. And
then Lando Calrissian.
And then Lando, yeah. And so like when he left, and yet they kept bringing in new people, and it kept working in different ways.
Yeah.
It was different. It was not the same show. You have to be okay with that. And it was different and then really good again. It just kept being good. Like it found a way to recreate its comedy, but stay true to all its characters, Once like Jeff went and started his own firm and everything, and they kind of rolled with that. Like it was, and he came back to be a teacher. I love all that story plot line. Good show. Good choice. All right. Another one for me, Mr. Robot. I know a lot of mine are very serious shows. I think I don't judge dramas above comedies.
Like, but that's just what you're gravitated to.
It's just when I think about that, like right now. So I gotta say that for me, Mr. Robot. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, so it's.
I know it exists. It's on USA, and I don't know anything else other than it's got the guy from.
Now James Bond, but Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
that's right.
Rami Malek is awesome, and he at first it starts off as like vigilante hacker. That's how it starts. It's almost like hacker of the week. Who am I gonna take down? Stuff like that, and then it starts getting deeper, and then there's a twist. And then there's a big twist. And then you're like, wait a second. This is not what I thought it was. And it keeps unraveling. It's in its final season now. It's going to end tonight. Series finale. Tonight. Wait. Oh my gosh. I think it's over. I gotta go watch that. I gotta go. No. So it's ending. And it's so good. It has turned into this massive sci-fi mystery thriller. And now it's dealing with like... it's crazy. I don't want to spoil anything. It's dealing with some really, really high concept craziness that is very sci-fi that you'd never thought it would get to. It started very grounded, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's still like grounded, like it's not ridiculous. It's believable to the point that the show made it believable. Like you're in the world, you're sold in it, everybody's in on it, and it's very well done. And like the hacking is pretty darn legit. Like when you look at what he's doing, like it's real, quote unquote. I mean,
it's not Swordfish.
No, yeah, it's like. One person doing it is it's a stretch, but the way that when they actually show it, it's almost like when they have on like medical shows, they have doctors, they're saying, oh, that you can't say that, that's not true.
That's not how this
They
works.
have the same thing for this. At least the language and the verbiage he's using is accurate. So it's not like annoying, where like they're playing to the nerds for fun using buzzwords like going to hack his router. It's going to be crazy. Another, boomer. Whoa, but
gonna hack his internet.
Yeah, but they make it believable and it's cool. It's tense. It just kept getting better and it's different. And now it's ending, and I'm very sad. So your turn.
I debated to put this on there or not, but I decided Game of Thrones.
I've never seen it.
So
tell me.
Well,
tell me a story.
Okay. Sean Bean just can't stay alive even when he's the main character and hero of your series.
He dies
in the
then?
first
I know.
season.
Sean Bean dies in everything. It's like, if he's in it, I expect him to die.
Not even the last episode of the first season. It's the second to last episode of the first season.
Well, now I know.
So you have a whole episode to be like, where do you go from here?
Yeah.
And then you latch onto a new hero, like, oh, this is the... Oh, nope, he's gone. But it's not just that. It's, as it gets later into the series, like, to me... Some people say it started to go down in Season 7. I love Season 7.
Okay.
Because Season 7 was justice porn for the characters.
Okay.
Like, Season 7 is when finally everything, like, the characters you've been rooting for that have made it, like, they get their day.
Yeah, right.
And to me, that was satisfying in Season 7.
What if I want the satisfaction?
Season 8, then it's like, yeah, you
Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some good points, but you can tell, like, it's rushed.
Uh-huh.
The guys who created it wanted to get to Star Wars just to leave Star Wars.
Yikes.
But,
hey, Netflix, how you doing?
But yeah, I mean, like, I do have, you know, we're both men of a certain faith that, like, I have my problems with the amount of promiscuity and outright pornographic sex scenes, which I just will fast forward through. But
Right. Yeah, it's a pretty big yikes from what I hear.
yeah. But the funny thing is, the show gets really good when suddenly that stuff is no longer part of it, and that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think it got to the point where, like, good for, you know, the women of it that I just saw, like, news articles of them talking about being like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, good. Maybe, like, when I watch, I can know that, like, it gets better.
Yeah. Oh, it was Emilia Clarke. She's like,
Yeah, okay.
I think once when she started to get some star power from that show.
Yeah.
She just said, by the way, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
Which, more
I'm
power
not,
to you.
I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the payoff at the end isn't the greatest, but the payoff, the second season to last, to me.
Okay. I mean, we're gonna watch it. It set up
what should have been a great season 8.
Okay.
The end of season 7 set up what should have been a great season 8.
Yeah.
And while some people absolutely hated it, I just thought it was like,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw one more in, just real quick.
Okay.
We can do quick shots.
Yeah.
Is that cool? One more.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. I know. Like that's. Oh wow, you like Stranger Things? No, I mean there's something super special about it. I don't, either you're a bandwagon fan or whatever. There's something super special about it, and it's like I'm really into like the style of the neon like new wave synth rock right now, anyways. And like then when that started, it was kind of like feeding the fuel to my fire currently of like that style, that look, that feeling of like old 80s stuff. And I'm not a big fan of like 80s stuff. Like Ready Player One for people was like that drool of like 80s.
well, okay, Ready Player One. I've not seen it yet, to be honest, but just judging from the trailer. The book is just references.
Yes.
It's just, hey, like we talked about this off camera about Star Wars. Like a lot of the new trilogies, like, hey, remember this? Remember this? Remember this? It wasn't that great.
Didn't you call member berries?
Remember, it was from South Park. Remember Chewbacca? I remember. But what I like about Stranger Things, it's not just like, hey, you remember these fun things from the 80s? It's like, hey, do you remember the 80s?
Yeah.
And not only do you remember the 80s, do you remember what what movies looked like from the 80s? They took the spirit of that and
they made it like current again.
They succeeded in saying, what's the spirit of the 80s?
Yeah.
And not just like throw 80s references and throw like, whether it's like they're talking about stuff from the 80s or they're like, you have a visual reference, like I mentioned in I felt like Rise of Skywalker, there's like, oh hey, that's an original trilogy moment. Oh, that's actually lifted from Indiana Jones. Oh, that's something from another movie. Like visually, it's stolen from other places.
Right.
They didn't steal things visually from other places. They just said, like, what's the magic of it? What's the core of it?
Right.
What's the spirit of it? Let's do that, and they did it.
Yeah, because they're truly inspired by the 80s. They love that time.
It's the tone.
Yeah, and they want to live there again to the point where like you believe that it actually is from that time.
Yeah, like it just. I keep thinking, like,
totally believable.
Man, those kids are adults now. I'm like, nope, I'm still older than Finn Wolfhard because he is a kid playing a kid in the 80s.
Right, yeah. But it's no. I mean, Stranger Things 3 to me was my favorite.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know. I can't believe that it's still getting better. But like, you can go back to one when I first watched it. It was just like, wow.
My heart was pounding that first episode.
Yeah, it's so good.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Another quick shot. What do you got?
Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay.
I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Dan Harmon again. It's essentially Community 2.0.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm watching the latest season, and they're doing each episode now is we're spoofing something. Like they did a heist episode where they're spoofing and pretty much calling out heist movies, and it's magnificent.
Yeah.
And there's this other episode with like a snake culture, and it's calling out the time travel conundrum buffoonery of Terminator.
Okay.
And it just gets to like the snake goes back to like kill another snake to prevent this bad future, but then more snakes keep popping up from the future to kill the other ones to keep or prevent. It becomes this huge stupid thing for some reason with the snake culture. And it goes on these weird, almost Family Guy like tangents, but it works.
Right. Well, it reminds me.
I don't know how the series is in season 4 and it's still doing amazing.
Right.
Like they haven't gotten old.
Well, it reminds me of like the early hyper intelligent comedy days of Family Guy, right? Where it kept that for a couple seasons and then quickly devolved because they were like
when they came back.
Yeah.
Because they thought this is what people like. And that's what they did.
Yeah, and they came back and did it that way. But this one, like, they know what they want to do. They're going to do it when they're ready, when they have something that's funny.
Yeah.
When they have something that is genuinely like, we know we're going to play on this. Can we do it right? Like, yes or no. If it's yes, then it's going to come back. And they're taking a break, like, all that stuff. But it's good.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to ruminate and become these pieces of comedy gold that are highly just, like, obscene, but in ways that are hilarious.
It's
you know, like, it's not shock jockeys for the sake of being shock. You know, it's like
I cannot
tactful
express
inappropriateness.
How I love this show.
Yeah.
And what I also love, like, people say, oh man, it's such a smart show, you wouldn't understand. I'm like, actually, when you get into the sci-fi part, it's purposely stupid. Yeah. They give names like, oh, it's a flumaflor. It's like, it's obviously lazy sci-fi writing at times when it comes to the naming, because that's the joke.
Yeah.
But then it's also incredibly smart in these other areas. Where
it reminds me of community hits. Clip
yeah, if they like, we want a MacGuffin, we'll give you a freaking MacGuffin. We don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you need a literal plot device like Doctor Who, we'll just have Rick make one that gets us out of whatever situation, but then we'll point it out, and we'll tell you, don't think about it.
Right.
Like, we'll just say to you, how did you come up with that? Don't think about it, and just move on with the show.
And like the majority of the time, they never reference back to things, which is great. They can do one-offs. It's fine.
Well, the latest episode, there's like this cat that can talk. It's like, and he literally says, "I'm a cat. I can talk. Don't think about it." And then they reveal how he talks, but they don't. They reveal it to the characters, and I guess it's something awful. and they don't show the audience at all. It's like, don't. It becomes, instead of like dismiss it, just let this be fun. It's like, no, seriously, don't think about it. How this cat, what he did to get the ability
highly
to talk.
disturbing. Don't think about it.
Like, you hear children screaming and they start puking as they're witnessing the travesty of how this cat's gonna talk. Like, it's sorry, I spoiled that. Anyway,
that's it.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, good choice. So those are some of our favorites from the last decade. I know TV has become so accessible at this point. Like, you used to be like, did you DVR it? Well, you're never going to see it again unless you go to Walmart, pay $45 for Entourage, which is a 12-episode season. Good luck. You know, especially HBO shows. What are some of your favorites? Tell us.
From the decade.
From the decade.
Leave us down below, and we'll be back for one more day before the end of the decade.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Man, Wonder Bra.